bet.
Where do you want to do it?
Okay, well, the wind's blowing that way. We should probably go a little bit over.
Oh, well, we want to hold one,
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, yeah, they will. I think the wind's blowing that way, so.
just give the rest of them to me. Maybe there, I don't know.
I think it should be okay.
Okay. All the rest of them.
They can clear the trees.
All right, well, you want me to
Say
say
a
my
couple
words?
words.
Yeah.
I just wrote a 10-page novel about Ken's life and life and times. Anyway, building, gardening, farming, working, hunting, fishing, cows, chickens, pigs, goats, dogs, squirrels, Judy, Kim, Colby, Kane, grandkids and great-grandkids, all things that Dad loved. He was always up early, and you were too. No sleeping around here. He worked late, he worked hard. He was an actual jack of all trades and a master of most of them. And if you thought you knew how to do something, he would set you straight.
That's true.
His life was defined by his work ethic, and he instilled in his kids the same drive to succeed and be the very best at whatever we did. He once told me that he hated being so hard on us, but he wanted us to be strong and not take off anybody. He spent countless hours teaching us sports, coaching routines, and being a role model for many of our childhood friends. You may not like what he had to say or how he said it, but you always knew exactly how he felt. We didn't have a lot growing up, and I often never forget wearing his black dress socks to school with cut-off blue jean shorts.
Look good.
I figured that'd be in there.
We had love, we had each other. We all have differing ways of expressing and showing love. I know that Dad loved all of us. And now I hope as he is enjoying some biscuits, breathing in some fresh oxygen, seeing some beautiful sights, and maybe even downing some snippers. He leaves us with some mighty big Liberty overalls to fill.
I got a little something. If you'll indulge me real quick. I apologize.
That was good, Cody. Thank you.
Okay, so before there was internet, there was Kenneth Mathis. For the younger ones here, you may wonder how we got anything done without the internet, or figured anything out without the internet. But we didn't Google advice back then. We asked Kenneth how to do it, and usually he had an answer. He was a functional man, and he did a lot of things in his life. He built an 80-foot HF radio tower right here that was communication central. He used to reach out to the Silver Fox. His call sign was Bullet. He knew every part number on most every car made from 1975 to 2002, and where you could find it for half the price you could get it at AutoZone. If that wasn't enough, he knew how to defeather a chicken, deconstruct a turtle to eat, and yes, we've eaten turtle before. Build a chicken coop, do amazing things with batten strips. For those of you that know what they are, coach baseball, skin a buck, run a trot line, and all that stuff. He was a man of few words, but Ernest Hemingway said that men of few words are the best men. He was always ready, though, to give advice on school, but never really done well himself there. And his advice was to never stop learning. Many folks would say, and even me, that he was condescending at times, and a know-it-all. What he lacked in charm, he made up for in ethics and work ethic. And I think Kobe mentioned this too. So, and I think that all of the immediate family here can say that back when we were growing up, we probably broke a few child labor laws from time to time. We all spent countless hours pushing moors around this yard, plowing the garden, shucking corn or splitting peas, and I can remember chopping off my first chicken head when I was 5 years old, and then plucking them. I can remember cleaning fish, having Nanny cook them, and then subsequently administering first aid to get the chicken bones out of her throat by making her drink pickle juice. It never worked, but I guess at least I had the hope of thinking it would. Regardless to say, all of this made us very resilient. So, but after I left home on mostly bad terms with my father, and with some resentment, I spent about 30 years traveling around the world and seeing a lot of different things. I spent 21 years in the Army, been to most every corner of the globe, a lot of times with special missions units. I had the privilege to work with a lot of heroes. I worked at the World Bank Group in Washington, D.C., an international organization where the joke was even the secretaries have PhDs. And then now I manage about 125 employees in the central region of the United States. Not bad for a country boy from Alabama. And then look at Kobe, his oldest son, with over 30 years of financial management experience at MUB. He's become a key member of that organization, and they couldn't live without him, and he's done well. And then my sister, and we all knew she'd take her own path, and she's so brave by taking the risk of the American dream and opening up her own company that's known across the United States. And then you can go on and on to the grandchildren. If you look around you, some of them are here today, and look at how successful they all are, and the rest of the extended family. So through all the things that I think Kenneth Mathis had done wrong, you can't argue with the results. You know, and the core values and principles he held and passed on to us, like integrity, respect, honor, ingenuity, that work ethic, these things that he taught us will reciprocate on down through the generations and have an exponential impact. And I think that's what we should remember about him is his influence and impact won't stop. There's no greater way than to honor Kenneth than by saying that we'll definitely take his legacy on with us. He was never really a religious man. He never went to church. He never really read the Bible. He believed more in the real things, putting food on the table and working hard. And despite all of this, I've kind of learned that angels don't always take the shape you expect them to. So, Dad, I can already hear your wings beating. Thank you.
That's sweet. Thank you, Kate.
Anybody else want to say anything?
Can we turn the balloon blue?
Well, yeah, we can release them.
Peggy wrote a personal note on one of those